Hey guys, how's it going? It's Robin here again from Catapults. Now, I hope you enjoyed the last episode of Catapults TV where I explained the fundamentals of SEO and how to do proper market research and keyword research. Okay, so that's great. Once you've done the market research and keyword research, it's like you've been equipped with the ammunition, but you haven't found a proper gun to use it. I hope that makes sense. Now, by now, a lot of SEO experts out there would have asked you to jump straight into link building because that's what they reckon will get the most result. Okay. Now, although link building contributes 80% to the ranking equation, you must not forget or overlook the on-page SEO, which is the remaining 20% of the equation. Okay, and that's because that's where a lot of 95% of the people out there are not getting the results that they should. The reason why is because if you have a well optimized and well structured site, you will maximize and take your link building effort to the next level. Okay, so with that being said, in this episode, what I'm about to share with you is how to perform a proper on-page SEO and how to optimize your site and set up the structure of your site properly so that you can maximize the link building effort down the track. Okay, so with that being said, let's get straight into my screen where I'll show you exactly what needs to be done. Hey guys, it's Robin here again. Now in this video, what I'm gonna share with you is the on-page SEO. Now, remember how I talk about on-page SEO contributes about 20% to the big picture? Now, this is probably one of the things that you should do, but it's not one of those things that once you do it, you'll see instant results, but it's just gonna help you with a lot of your off-page SEO work. Okay, so with the on-page SEO, there's a fair few elements that we look at, but obviously there are two that are the most important. The first one obviously being the meta keywords, and then you have the meta description, which I'll explain later, and then how you're gonna inform and tell Google what your images are all about, because Google can't see the pictures. And obviously you gotta have relevant content, and also not forgetting having relevant outbound links. This is where a lot of people get tripped up because they think that having backlinks is more important than having outbound links. Okay, they are always in the mindset of keeping all the backlinks to themselves, which is not true in the sense that Google wants you to be as normal blogger or website as you can be, because a normal website will share and point and have outbound links to other websites that are relevant. Okay, and then you have the internal linking structure that you got to get it right in order to get the link juices and maximize the power of link juice. And then you have the keyword density, where you talk about the number of times a keyword that's been mentioned on the page. Okay, so the first one being meta keywords. Now, meta keywords are essentially let's just say a quick summary based on the keywords about a specific topic on a specific page. Now, I personally like to handpick up to 8 from the list that we have brainstormed or researched prior to this with the keyword research module. And you must make sure that you don't go overboard, because what I see that is quite common in a lot of websites, they try to jam pack all the keywords that they try to rank within the meta keyword section. It's not going to help. Okay, it's just going to raise a red flag within Googlebot, because that just tells Googlebot that you are trying to sort of gaming the system in a way. You're trying to be too broad in terms of you're trying to rank as much keywords as you can for a particular page, which isn't true, because a home page, you can only have so much content within the home page. You can't possibly have all the relevant content for all the keywords that you try to jam pack into the meta keyword section. Okay, And with the latest update, Google are starting to get a lot smarter these days. So you gotta start thinking laterally, which means you have to start thinking about synonyms and words that make sense to human, and words that just to us it's common, and you gotta use sometimes even layman's term, okay? Things that are common to human beings searching on Google, okay? So you gotta really get into the head of your target audience, okay? And then we have the meta description, where it's sort of like the two-liner blurb for your page, for each specific page. Now this is like your billboard, and if you search on any keywords within Google, you get to see all the listings, their headline, and then you see the two-liners just underneath their domain name that tells you a bit of what the website, the listing is all about before you click on it. Now imagine this as, like I said, your billboard, because your message will be seen by tons and tons of people going through, say for example, think of it as a highway, okay? You have a highway full of all the billboards, and you're giving the drivers that go past the option to choose which one to click on, okay, in this instance. And you want to make sure that you keep it within 150 or 160 characters, purely because of the amount of space that are allowed within the listing. And if you think about it, sometimes the shorter it is, the better it will be, because of mobile, and especially with mobile screen size being a lot smaller than desktop. Sometimes when you have too long of a description, it can get truncated to a point where it's not that ideal. Let's just put it that way, okay? And obviously this is one of the places you gotta have your unique selling proposition, and hence it's quite important for you to craft your unique selling proposition right from the beginning so that you can utilize it across all the pages. Now you can modify it and tweak it as it is based on the primary keywords that you want to rank for each specific pages. Okay, so you got to be smart and play around with the keywords and make it look natural as possible. Heck, you don't even have to think about Google when you start writing about this. Just use the keyword and then just write out a headline that captivates the audience and entice people to click on it. Okay, and last but not least, you gotta have a call to action. There's nothing worse than having a headline, or sorry, a description that is dull and you don't stand out from the rest, and the thing with online users these days, you gotta guide them, you gotta take them through all the pages, you gotta tell them what to do. It might seem simple to you, it might seem like something that's quite straightforward, but it's not, trust me, because once you have the call to action, you're going to stand out from the rest of the crowd, because I can guarantee you that a lot of the listings, even on the first page itself, they don't have a properly written description. And essentially what's going to happen is Google is going to scrape the first two sentences of that page, and that's what the visitors are going to see. And a lot of the times is just like an introduction paragraph. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then the following one, the element that we're going to look at, is the image alt text. Now this is crucial because a lot of people tend to overlook image, and because it's so obvious to us when we can see it. But if you think about it, Googlebot is blind. Okay, you want to make sure that it's not Google blind by giving each images a proper name. Now, naming your image is important in such a way that if you do it right, you're gonna add a lot of I would say brownie points to your on-page SEO factor. So make sure you don't just leave the default file name as it is, rename it. And as you can see here, if you're using WordPress, it's quite simple. You can rename each and every single image and picture that you upload. Okay. Then we have the relevant content. Now, this is what a lot of people keep raving about, like having blogs and things like that. Now, if you have a website that is pretty much telling people about your services or your product, and that's essentially a unique content on its own. Don't just get bogged down with people saying about, oh, you gotta have blog to have fresh content and things like that. Blogs are good to have fresh new content, but that doesn't mean that you should overlook on your existing content that you already have. So with the say for example the products or services that you're offering, you have a unique selling proposition across all the sub pages. You should make use of those entity or those real estate, and make sure that you have the relevant keywords onto it. Don't overdo it. Don't write with, a lot of people try to convince the web developer or the business owner that, the content needs to be written in the SEO manner. But this day and age, Google are getting a lot smarter. You just got to be focusing on writing for human. That's all. Okay. And because Google has built up a huge database of synonyms and words that are commonly used, that they're smart enough to detect the keyword that you are trying to rank for subtly. Okay, so the next one being the relevant outbound links. Now this is the one of the crucial element that a lot of people tend to overlook, purely because they're being selfish in a way. And when you're being selfish, it doesn't add to the metrics of the new metrics that Google has just introduced. The fact that if you think about Wikipedia, the all the top sites that the giant humongous site that you can see out there, they all have proper internal linking structure. They have links to everywhere, all over the place, and they 9 times out of 10 they get a lot of authority from Google, and that's purely because they're interlinking the web around rather than trying to keep everything themselves. So if you link to a relevant pages within Wikipedia, that just shows that your website has got relevant links into your website. Okay, not only that, you're linking to other higher authority website as well. Okay, now just make sure that you're linking to higher relevant authority sites and not just another average business sites. And don't ever don't do link exchange. It doesn't work anymore. It used to work back in those days when Google algorithm are not that smart enough. And obviously you got to make it look natural as much as you can. Then we have the internal linking structure. Now, I may have already gone through this before, but having a well-structured site, and I'll always go back to Wikipedia or Amazon, you see how they interlink within the single domain itself, the amount of categories and the amount of relevant information that they're linking within the same domain. That is allowing the backlink, I would say the link juice, flowing through all over your website. And if you think about it, you just want to fill up, if you think about your website as being a cup, you just want to fill up the cup as much as you can and not just focusing on one specific area. Okay, so hence this having a proper internal linking structure will maximize the impact of your links, and of course it's going to help Googlebots. When you make it as easy as possible for Googlebot, that is one of the criteria that a lot of people tend to overlook. They try to do all these ninja tactics and things like that, but the most simple thing that you can do to help Googlebot is to make it as easy as possible for them to go around your website. Okay? Don't create a maze for them. Create a simple flow of traffic so that they can go around your website and get out of it as fast as possible. So this is one of the, I believe I've used this example before, but having a silo structured site means that once you have the, think about the Googlebot coming into your homepage and going through all this category, you flow through, and once you come to the end of the this sub-page, ideally what you want to do is link back to the homepage, okay, so that you have a loop, right? And this is the type of structure you want to have on your website or your client's website. And it's quite simple. You just got to make sure that this is a one-way link. When it comes here, it links to the second and third and fourth pages without this linking back here, okay, so that the flow is going through one way, right? And this has proven to work time and time again, and you'll maximize the link building effort that you're putting in, okay, which I'll explain in the next video. So the last one is obviously the keyword density. The keyword density is measured based on the frequency of keywords mentioned in the article. So you can, this is basically the formula, but in short, you just want to calculate the number of times specific keyword that is mentioned within the content itself. Alright? And there's no right or wrong way on doing it. I would just say do it sensibly and do it, as subtle as possible. Like, in these days, I wouldn't even mention the same keyword, more than 3 or 4 times. I would use synonyms instead. That means the same thing, right? And that just shows that you are being creative, and you are, like, if you think about it, when you write an article, an essay, you would always try to avoid using the same keyword, okay, again and again, just to make it, just to make the article not looking dull, and that's the whole idea. But unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck into the whole SEO game. Once you get stuck into that, they think that the more amount of times that they use or repeat the same keyword, the better it's going to help their website. It's not. Okay, so keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do next is I'll just pause this video and I'll just go through my browser and show you a quick demo. So I've chosen this site, and it's one of the plastic surgery in Manhattan. And what I'm going to show you here is basically the on-page SEO analysis. And you can do this on your own site or any site. All you need to do is just go into an empty space here, right click, view page source, and then you can see all these gibberish HTML markup languages. Okay, now what we want to look for is the keywords, which this site doesn't have, and the next one is description. Now, as you can see here, this is the description, okay, but it doesn't have a keywords, okay? So you need to have at least keywords, meta keywords, and description on all the pages, and it has to be unique across all the pages. So say, for example, you go onto a separate sub pages, and you view page source, doesn't have keywords again, okay, and the keywords, so the description, yes, in this case it's different, and you might not see this quite often. A lot of the site has got the same description and keywords on all the subpages. It's purely because it's been copy and pasted, and it's usually one of two reasons. It's either the web developer doesn't have SEO knowledge or they're being lazy. So this is one of the things that you can take advantage of and tell them, look, this is wrong. I can fix this for you. And usually once you show this to the prospective client, they will be impressed, okay? Because a lot of the times they are not being educated about this information. Heck, they won't even have a clue about what's happening behind the scene, okay? So this is one of those things that you can instantly show it to them, and then give them a surprise, or while interrupting their pattern, which they don't normally get from a lot of the freelancers out there. So this will give you an edge, okay? So with that being said, guys, what I want you to do now is head down below the video and drop in your comments and share with people what you have learned today in this video. And I'll appreciate it if you can like the Facebook fan page, because everyone seems to be liking the Facebook fan page these days. So I'll appreciate it if you can do that. And most importantly, share your experience. I'll be chipping in and answering any questions that you may have. So until then, I'll talk to you in the next video. Cheers.